Welcome to your 30-minute evening wind down, gentle flow. Tonight we will spend 30 minutes moving mindfully, very slowly, lingering in shapes for a little bit longer, focusing our attention on the hips and the low back. We'll touch all the spots, but our focus will land on the hips and the low back. We will get started in a heart opening shape. You might use a bolster if you have one, and if not, just take a rolled up towel or rolled up blanket, roll it up lengthwise and place it the length of the spine. So starting at the base of the spine, running up. Releasing the body onto it, legs extend out long. And allowing the arms to fall open by the body. Landing here in this position, we will stay here taking 10 full deep breaths to allow ourselves to arrive fully on our mats. Allow these breaths to invite a sense of ease and softening into the body. And as you release each exhale, let go of any tension, stress, anxiety that might remain from the day or might be building in anticipation of the week ahead. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Gently release to one side or roll to your seat. Clear your prop from your mat. Then take the back to the mat. Knees draw into the chest. Gentle movement side to side. And any of these movements as we practice tonight, if you notice that your body wants to move quite quickly through these shapes, really check in and invite a slower pace. Release the soles of the feet to the ceiling, taking the hands to the outside or the inside of the feet, maybe drawing the hands to the back of the thighs, landing in a happy baby. Release the left leg to the mat. Draw the right shin into the chest. Fingers interlace over the shin. Begin by drawing it towards the right armpit, pausing here for 3 breaths. And then taking it towards center. So this isn't a big movement for most of us. Just drawing that knee in towards center. Exploring that gentle range of motion and pausing here. 3 more breaths. Release that grip, cross the right leg over the left, take the sole of the left foot to the mat. We're in a figure four shape. We'll land here in this figure four with the left foot ground down. Draw the low back into the mat. And just check in here. Check in to see how this sensation is landing in your body. Maybe this is enough to just land here. Maybe mindfully drawing the energy away from the body in that right leg. And if you're seeking a little bit more, taking the hands to the back of the left thigh or interlacing them over the left shin. Arriving in your figure four, just checking in. If you land in stillness, that's awesome, but maybe a little bit of gentle movement would feel really sweet tonight. And maybe moving between the stillness and the movement to see what best serves your body. One more breath here. Release the sole of the left foot back to the mat if you've taken it up. Arms extend out to a T. Gentle twist to the left side of your space. So we're finding a figure four twist, keeping that position with the lower body, rooting down through the shoulders. You might keep your gaze neutral here, or maybe find a little bit more depth, taking it out over the extended right arm. And if you're not getting that sensation you're seeking in this side, again, mindfully send the energy from that right knee away from the earth, away from the body, towards the earth. Staying where you're at or taking the right hand, connecting it to the sole of the left foot. And maybe it doesn't connect. Maybe you draw it in the direction of, or you use a strap. And releasing back into this shape. This time being mindful to actively send the energy away from the body with that right leg. One more breath. Slowly release the body back to center. Plant the soles of both feet, hip distance apart. Windshield wiper the legs from side to side. One more time each side. Coming back through center, right leg extends, this time interlacing the fingers over the left shin, drawing it in towards the armpit, pausing here, 3 full breaths. Slowly begin to draw the knee in towards center. Just that gentle movement, landing at your end range of motion, pausing, holding for 3 breaths. Slowly release. Cross the left leg over the bent right leg, landing in a figure four. Pausing here, sending the low back into the mat. Maybe drawing the energy away from the body in that left knee. And then checking in if there's more space to explore, finding that by taking the hand to the back of the thigh or connecting with the shin. I always like to check in as we move from side to side. Just notice if the same amount of space is available on both sides. I find for me it almost never is. Just acknowledging that maybe there's more depth, maybe there's space to send a little bit of extra focused breath. And never passing judgment as we land on those observations, just noticing, finding that gentle way to respond in movement. One more breath here. Release the sole of the right foot back to the mat if you've lifted it. Arms extend to a T, finding a figure four twist to the right side of our space. Checking in that we're rooting down through the left foot, really being mindful about grounding into the earth. Keeping those shoulders heavily weighted and maybe taking the gaze over the left hand. Staying exactly where you're at, or taking the left hand in the direction of the right foot, maybe closing that circuit. One more full breath. Release that connection if you've taken it. Draw the knees back up through center, uncross the leg. This time taking the knees in towards the chest. Gentle rocking movement from side to side. Release the soles of the feet to the mat. Take hold of your block, maybe your bolster, that might be a bit aggressive, or a cushion, a stack of blankets, whatever you have handy. Lift the hips and then place the block or other prop beneath it. We're landing in a supported bridge. And you might stay here. This might be a perfect place to land, or maybe you extend the legs straight and land there. And just know if you extend the legs and the block feels like it's in a wonky spot, just make those adjustments. You really want to be able to release the body into these shapes in a way that feels nourishing and supportive. We'll find 3 more breaths here. If you've extended the legs, walk the feet back in. Inhale, takes the hips up, clear the block. Release the hips to the mat. Knees draw into the chest, chin to the chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. Hands to the back of your thighs. Gently rock and roll your way all the way up and down your spine, landing in a tabletop position. When you arrive in your tabletop position, adjust your hair. No. When you arrive in your tabletop position, cycling through 5 slow rounds of cow-cats. Adding any additional movements, lingering in any of these places. Finding a way to make this movement as beneficial for your body as possible. Connect the big toes, draw the knees out wide, press back to child's pose. Maybe finding a little movement to settle in, draw the hands forward. You might release the forehead to the mat. Maybe you take a little bit of support beneath the body, a cushion and bolster. Slowly begin to walk your hands off the right side of your space, continuing to root down through the lower body, finding that expansion in the side body, extending it all the way down to the bottom of your back. Release the hands very gently back to center. We'll pause in center for 3 full breaths. Then slowly walk the hands off the left side of your space, finding that extension on the other side. Release the hands back to center. Rise to your tabletop. Take the knees back beneath the hips. Pause here in a neutral spine. Pull the pelvis in. Pull the pelvis into the pit of the belly. Hold here for 1 breath. Then walk the hands forward, release the forearms to the mat, landing in a melting heart. Hips stay stacked above the knees. You might take support beneath the head. Maybe you walk the arms out to the side or stretch them out a little further. If there's a lot of space to explore, you might draw the chin towards the mat. One more breath here. Rooting through the hands, gently rise up, release to the mat, landing in your Sphinx pose. We'll land in this first variation for 5 full breaths before finding a little bit of fun in a variation. Slowly begin to draw the other right, your left knee up the side body, landing in a half frog Sphinx pose. Just notice if this is a lot of sensation, just release the angle of the left knee. If you're looking for a little bit more, drawing it up, you might even place a block beneath the left knee to elevate it and find a little bit more depth. But if you're super concerned about depth, sit tight. We're headed there. I think you'll be satisfied in a moment. One more breath here. Gently release the left leg back to center, pausing in our original Sphinx. And drawing the right knee up the side body. Coming into our half frog Sphinx on the right side. One more breath. So gently release the right leg back to center. Draw the hands beneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, knees connected, press back to child's pose. Really let that torso go over the thighs. Hands might stay extended, or you might take the palms face up, releasing the arms beside the body. Slowly walk the hands out. We're coming into a frog pose. So the spice that I promised a minute ago, well, we're here. If frog isn't for you, you might take a wide legs child's pose, maybe finding tadpole, so keeping the hips lifted and releasing forward that way. But if frog is available, maybe taking the sides of your mat in or putting a towel or cushion beneath if you need a little bit of support. But finding that perfect level of sensation, looking to keep the legs at 90 degrees if that's available, and then releasing the body forward. And once your upper body has landed, you might check in. If there is a little bit more space, gently draw, very gently, drawing the hips back. This isn't a big movement. It can be quite a saucy pose. So wanting to exercise some love and caution as we move in the shape. We'll take 5 more breaths here. I always love when the body's really speaking to me to take that opportunity to get really intentional about directing my breath to the areas that are telling me they're resistant. It's phenomenal sometimes how that mindful direction of the breath can really help to open and invite space. Take the weight into the hands, gently draw the knees into center, and then make your way all the way onto your back. Coming to your back, taking the knees in towards the chest, keeping them connected at center. Gentle movement from side to side. Release the arms out to a T and gently release the knees to the right side of your space, landing in a twist. You might have to make a few little gentle adjustments to land. Maybe it feels really good to find support here, maybe taking something between the knees or finding that support beneath the bottom knee. One more breath. Draw the knees back through center, pausing here. One full breath. And then connect the knees and release to the left side of your space. Making any adjustments, taking any supports. Drawing the knees back through center. Connect the soles of the feet, Supta Baddha Konasana. Taking one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. We'll find 3 full deep cleansing breaths together to close. Inhale through the nose and release it out the mouth. Twice more. Staying here or taking the hands to the back of the thighs, rolling up your spine, coming to land in your easy seated position. Thank you so much for joining me for this gentle evening wind down and giving some mindful love to your hips and low back. Have a beautiful night.